Hey everybody, so I'm back to do another Splinterlands video that the team has challenged us to do. With land about to start, it's time to share our journey in Splinterlands. And this is pretty cool because the team does reward us a little bit for doing these videos when we post them on Hive, and that earns me a lot more than my YouTube channel. But part of this journey is my YouTube channel. But first, let's go ahead and go to the game. I'm zoomed in on my profile here, and you can see that I have been battling since June of 2018. My journey with Splinterlands started when it was called Steam Monsters. I had come to Steam hearing about this platform where you could blog and make some money. One of the stories that actually inspired me to join, I don't know if she's still around, was but somebody by the name of Travel Girl, who was traveling around the world posting videos of herself. Not videos, but pictures, blogs. She might have been doing videos. I don't remember. But she was earning thousands of dollars on Steam at the time for basically traveling around the world and posting about her travels. And it was almost self-funding her travels. Now, obviously, I was never a very cute girl that could do something like that, but I thought if she could make thousands of dollars, maybe I could make a little bit of money. So I joined Steam. I started blogging. I was getting into, trying to find a click there. Nobody knew who I was. I didn't have any followers. I was doing some of the writing story challenges, occasionally a poetry challenge, occasionally writing about a crypto project or something, but things are relatively new back then. And I just wasn't getting a lot of traction. And then I started playing a little bit into the idea of some of the different games and gamification that was on Steam at the time. Then I found my way to the Splinterlands page. At the time I got there, it was after their alpha sale had sold out, after the people had been holding the cards, and just after the game had actually launched, because the game launched in May of 2018. I joined the Discord. I asked if the game was real because at the time I had been, fooling around with a couple little scams, and I got, some people saying, yeah, the game's real. There's not that many of us playing. I remember at the time Azaria and Clove were actually in the Discord, and they convinced me to buy a spell book. And once I bought a spell book, they sent me, a handful of alpha cards to get me started down my journey. That's what eventually my blog would start to be mostly about. I was part of a group called Contest Kings at one point on Steam that were one of the first accounts that did kind of the giveaway Splinterlands cards to people to basically curate their post, and it was a real fun time, and it lasted for a long time. I live in California, so there was a group I fell into that were doing like Welcome California posts where we would just kind of post about what we were doing in California on the weekends. I wasn't as active as some of those guys. They were out mining for gold and going on crazy hikes, and I was just kind of hanging out at the mall. But still, I fell into those groups. We did a meetup, and that was fun. But mostly, I started to blog mostly about Splinterlands. They've always done this thing where you could blog about the game and you could earn a vote. And that's what eventually led to me creating a YouTube channel. Now, my story gets kind of crazy because if I don't really feature this anymore here on my homepage, just because my craziest videos that I've ever posted were actually about a different game. It was about Townstar. Oops, sorry. You guys aren't hearing that much, I'd imagine, but I was hearing it. And the reason I say that, I think they're down here near the bottom, but you see this one here has 12K views, 19K views, 31,000 views. That was because on the side, having been in Splinterlands, that journey led me to look into more different games. And those games included the Gala Games ecosystem. I got into Townstar. My big story there was I bought a $75 NFT off of Crypto Stash on a charity stream. It ended up being one that I still actually have. That at one point was earning me around $2,000 worth of town coin a day because of how rare it was. That only lasted for a couple months during the peak bull run, but nonetheless, I'd like to say that I just made tons of money in my crypto day, but I was drinking the Kool-Aid back then. Splinterlands was blowing up. Everything, my alpha cards and beta cards that I actually had bought got really valuable when Untamed came out. I was able to take all that profit I was making in Gala and put it into buying a full Untamed set. I was able to watch those cards go up massively in value when that set eventually came out. And at one point, my Splinterlands account was up close to my card collection was worth $900,000. Plus, I was an owner of 200 lands that at the time were worth, around $150,000. So I was literally a Splinterlands millionaire on paper. It was pretty wild, but I didn't sell any of that stuff. Not nearly enough of it. I probably did take out of it, but my big mistake maybe from last bull run was I just bought other things for other games. I bought other Gala. I bought a bunch of Miranda stuff for Gala Games. I bought a whole bunch of their other game tokens and NFTs that are coming out. And then I got into a bunch of different projects. That was without a doubt one of the craziest times of my life. I luckily did things right and sold enough of everything I earned into cash to give tons of money to the government as they taxed my pretty heavy. But it was exciting. And then I've lived through now everything almost falling apart. I mean, it was just a couple months ago that we thought Splinterlands might have to close down. We weren't positive if they'd be able to right the ship, if they had enough runway left, if land could be built. And now we're about to, have land become built. And the crazy thing is we're finally starting to see the flywheel that I did a video about a while ago actually come to life. And if you come in here and you look at the tokens now, you can see dark energy crystals that back in the day used to be a lot lower, like down in the 80% are now up in the 96% rate. And you can see that the SPS token, its percentage change right here is down a tiny bit. But basically the idea here, the only way you can get more dark energy crystals is to burn the splinter shards. So over the last couple days, as land has started to come out, you've seen that this token had been on the mighty decline, like most tokens in the bear market. But all of a sudden, look at these two jumps right here. Is this the turnaround we've all been waiting for? There's a good chance that it just might be. This time, am I going to do things differently? I hope so, but I can't say that 100% I will. Because even though this bear market has been pretty wild, I've still had quite a lot of fun making all my Splinterlands videos, going to Splinterfest, making some great friends, starting to hang out with Tails and Aftersound and Darkest Night, meeting Jim Morgan, meeting Walking Keys, getting to host some of these people on my show that I now do with Baby Omega every Monday night. It's turned me from being somebody who just kind of played games and stuff into a content creator and a mini personality within this ecosystem. I have to admit that for a time during COVID, when I got furloughed from work, I was able to make a lot more content in this ecosystem. But now I'm back to doing work, and the bear market, unfortunately, lasted a long time, so I wasn't able to get out of needing that 9-to-5 job to make sure I could pay all my bills. But nonetheless, now it's time to see what happens. As you can see, I've built up a war chest of over that's 3 million dark energy crystals to go into my land. I still have my 200 lands. I actually have 202 now. I did a little wheeling and dealing and sold some stuff and bought some other things. I've got my 550,000 SPS stake now. I had been working on getting to 1 million, but I've anybody who really knows me, I had some money get lost to Celsius. I got hacked on Polygon for $5,000. I got hacked on Ethereum for about $6,000. And I just fell victim of basically chasing too many gains and not paying attention to all my approvals. And some dead projects made me lose quite a bit of money. Luckily, Hive, and oh yeah, not to mention I'm not going to go deep into it, but the whole Steam to Hive transition and everything that went on there, that was a lot of fun. But in general, the Steam and Hive wallets and the way they work and the way they hide their private keys and the way that you can only give some approvals has led me to the one big win for me. I have not lost any of my Splinterlands assets to hacks or scams. So that's a testament to the security that is built into this game. And I'm pretty lucky that I haven't fell victim to anybody, getting any of these kind of things away from me. So now it's time to see what we can do. I've made videos where the basic key that I think to this token going crazy is right over here. And it's these pools. You can see just as it starts to tick up, our DEC die pool is back up to 10%. The DEC BUSD is at 13%. This is a little bit of a misnomer because this is going to become DEC USDC pretty soon. And so people are starting to pull their money out of it, getting ready to move away from BUSD as Binance is no longer supporting it. And we have these other APRs in the 20, 60, and 40 cents. When people start to really understand that this is a product-backed stablecoin flywheel ecosystem, where me with 3 million DEC, I need another 7 million DEC to fully deploy all 204 of my land. I can't just buy those off the market that easily without pushing us up over the natural $1,000 to $1 peg. So what is going to end up happening? People are going to end up burning out the SPS to go ahead and take care of that arbitrage as I'm buying more DEC over the next couple months as land comes out and we start to play that part of this game. Or I'm going to actually be burning some of my SPS as the token starts to move up. And it's a really exciting time to be here. Splinterlands seems to have weathered the storm. They had their new set come out, Rebellion. I bought 605 packs. It's not as many as I would have liked to buy, but I had some bad luck. I don't have quite as much liquid money as I'd want. I think I will be making one more purchase on these and maybe pushing this up to around 800. But we'll have to see how things go over this next week because there's quite a lot that could be happening starting on Tuesday. But nonetheless, this was a $500,000 pre-sale pack that was supposed to last a month, and we are down to only 172,000 packs left. This showed that the community did step up, come, and now have purchased over 300,000 packs at $5 per pack. There is some ways that you can get bonus packs. If you click here, you see you could receive up to 300 free packs. So it's not that every one of those packs were bought for the $5 price either, because they have a token voucher system that allows you to get some discounts. This system is one of the best ecosystems I've ever seen when it comes to the actual economy, and I think I do need to start screaming that from the rooftops a little bit more. Nonetheless, it's been an amazing time here in the Splinterlands, it becoming a bigger part of the Hive community, being able to post and share videos and my live streams and having people support them, having the team support them, having a chance to branch out and start to do videos about some of the different DeFi products that I have. I do those on my Steve Speaks Hive account. I try to keep this one now strictly my Stever82 to Splinterlands content. And I mean, look at all the content I've made over the years. This has become my major hobby. As you can see in the past, I used to cover some of the other games here like TerraCore, and I should say that I try to keep this to Hive gaming only. Like pretty soon there'll be a lot more GLS stuff as that game goes live. But this whole thing turned me from kind of just a hobbyist who used to play card games and video games into somebody who does the same thing, but now tries to share that with everybody out there because it's been pretty rewarding for me. Nonetheless, I'm not a big whale with tons of extra money to bring into the ecosystems, guys. I'm just somebody who ended up with a very big collection because I was here early. I kept posting, I kept making content, I kept buying things when they were cheap, and then when things got really expensive, I was lucky enough to have bought some things that made me a lot of money. And I was able to buy a lot more. But then when all of that stuff went down, I didn't become one of those guys who became a millionaire off of crypto. But who knows what's going to happen this next time around. It's not good how much I've had, taken away from me. But in the end, I still have some pretty big bags, one of them being Splinterlands, and I hope that I get to go on quite a journey with you over these next probably about 16 months. Thanks, everybody. Bye.